What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I see all of these articles for Shiba Inu that are talking about maybe burn rates and how burns are getting aggressive and how we're so hyped to see these level of burns. Um, and I also kind of paired that with getting questions about whether we will ever see Shiba Inu burn enough coins. Because some people only have a certain amount and they believe it's going to get to a certain price and they're like, I hold this amount because I felt as though it was going to get to a penny. I hold this amount because I felt as though it was going to get to $1. So if I hold 1 million SHIB, while it is an insignificant amount, like not anything that's going to affect anything, later down the line, you will see my 1 million Shiba Inu be worth $1 million, right? That's where their mindset is. Now, is that reality to see that, especially where Shiba Inu is? I can't say that it is. It's definitely more of a dream to say that Shiba Inu gets to $1 because that would currently be a $600 trillion market cap. A little bit outside of the realm of possibility, right? Um, However, if we see a level of burns, that could happen. And we've always had this mindset, right? We've been talking about Shiba Inu since what, 2020, 2021? And the all of the conversations have always been around burns, whether it was with the ecosystem dev team or the community led burns or more community led burns and the ecosystem dev team, and it seemed like it kept going back and forth. Or we're talking about businesses that are building different burns within their business model, whether it could be Wellies, and I don't know where that stands, or whether it could be bigger entertainment or the coffee company or gaming or something like that. We were looking to burn. That was the mindset. We burn, we get to a higher price, we all succeed, we all benefit from it, besides the extra revenue that's going out the door by burning. But if we're collectively doing it, our bags are getting a lot larger. Now, we also believe that we could see a massive push with um, with Shiba Inu FOMO that's going into it and hype and popularity. And it always has had that popularity and the hype with it. And it still has that. I don't think it's ever going to go away. When we look at the amount of holders of Shiba Inu, 1.4 million holders in SHIB, that's saying something. That's telling us a lot. But I want to talk about the burn rate. And if we will ever get to that point to where someone's like, oh, you know what? We're burning enough right now that I believe it's going to get to 10 cents or $1 or something of that nature. Guys, if you could, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Perry8K. You can do that. Don't forget about my Patreon. If you guys want to join as a free member or paid member, feel free to do that, as well as Margex. I have a link down there for that. You can trade Shiba Inu at up to 25x leverage. You could probably start out with 5x leverage or 10x leverage if you don't understand leverage trading. And if you also want information on leverage trading, on my Patreon, I have a bunch. Let's talk about this, though. The reason why this is coming up is because of all these articles that we talk about how Shiba Inu's burn rate is skyrocketing. And this is from like 3 days ago. But we have an article recently that was talking about how Shiba Inu, the burn rate, they just continue to burn. Now, it's up 64,000%, which sounds amazing. The burn rate's up 64,000%. How much is that if we're seeing it up by that much? So let's go into a little bit of the detail. SHIB burn data shows an increase of over 64,000% in the Shiba Inu burn rate over the past 24 hours. In the course of one day, more than 657 million SHIB tokens were destroyed, which brings the total SHIB burn to 410 trillion 725 billion 564 million 700 or sorry 272,084, right? And it sounds like there's been a significant impact, right? 64,000%. They're making it seem that way. 657 million that has been burned. While that is a lot, 657 million is a lot of Shiba Inu, is a lot of dollars. It's just not a lot of Shiba Inu that has been burned compared to the total supply. If we look at all of the different days where we've talked about we're up 100%, 1,000%, 64,000, 100,000%. You can see it get down to a certain level and then burn off a ridiculous amount, and you're seeing a 5,000% increase or 10,000% increase in burns, even though you only spent, $4,000 for that burn, right? Or $5,000 or whatever the number may be. So it's not as significant as people think, but they make it seem that way. If we look at the amount that has been burned since the beginning, 410 trillion was burned by Vitalik. 410, and I think it was 410 trillion, 200 like 56 or something like that. That's how much has been burned by Vitalik. We have not even seen 1 trillion come off the board for Shiba Inu. And this is since launch, right? This is since we had the conversation of the fact that we could see so many more or so much higher of a price if we saw burns. But we see those burns, it's just not enough. So are we ever going to get to where we have enough to burn off Shiba Inu? Burn off the entire supply of Shiba Inu to get us to that dollar price point? At this point, it looks like no. We haven't even created a significant impact. At this rate, it'll take us literally thousands of years in order to burn off Shiba Inu entirely at this current rate. And who's to say that we're going to see the same level of burns when the price increases to $100 billion market cap, right? At what point are people going to give up on that overall dream? Is it when the overall crypto market is kind of stabilized and everything is being invested into via ETFs, and you have people that are holding crypto on the DeFi side and people that are looking for it for utility? Are we going to see that completely diminish at that point? And in my mind, yes, right? Meme coins only live a certain life unless they build utility. And nobody knows what that life truly is, what the time frame is, because I don't think we have enough data for that. We literally just had a bull market because of meme coins that really got a lot of people started. They invested into a lot of other utility plays and went on from there, but they still invested into some meme coins. So to answer the question, I know this is kind of all over the place. To answer the question, Shiba Inu is not going to burn those levels unless you see a large whale that comes in at these prices, at these levels, to say, I want to burn off billions of dollars of Shiba Inu. If that's the case, then yeah, you can see Shiba Inu that burns down that supply. It still would be very difficult because they would have to burn down, 12 billion of a price, $13 billion. You would have to burn down all of that in order to get to a certain level for the overall supply. Very difficult to do because no one has that much money to just throw away. Now, if we saw exchanges that were doing it, we saw businesses, we saw the burn rates increase consistently, yeah, of course. But these are not consistent burn rates. We see 657 million one day, and the next day we see 10 million. That's just how it goes. It's not great to see that because it's not consistent. So if we're banking on it to be consistent, but it's not consistent, we're not going to see what we want to see. Now, by no means am I talking a bunch of trash on Shiba Inu at all. I have 93 million. I know of what it can be. I know the level of FOMO. I know the level of popularity. I know that we are seeing burns and any burn does matter. But the expectation of getting to $1 kind of is maybe a little bit off the table, right? And it brings that percentage chance of like 1% down to like 0.5 or 0.1% because we've seen many years to where nothing has happened. And I blame it all on the ecosystem dev team. This ecosystem dev team promised us so much, gave us nothing, and then even told us that they were going to do burns and committed to those burns and still are not doing those burns. So they have lied to us consistently, and we kind of followed them into where we are right now when we could have said, hey, everything that you're doing, we're not going to support unless you have a burn implementation within it. So I don't know what you guys think about Shiba Inu. Are they burning enough coins for you? Do you believe that we're going to get to $1? Do you believe that we're going to get to 1 cent? Or do you only see us getting to a level of another drop zero and a 1 or a 2, or getting to a 200 or $300 billion market cap? What's your opinion? Give me that information down below. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you again so much for watching, for listening to me. I know that sometimes I just blabber on and talk about things for a very long time that maybe you don't 100% care about. but I just want to thank you guys for even taking the time to watch, taking the time to hit the like button, taking the time to put a comment down there, and even checking out the links in the description. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.